Hi everybody. So we are going to attempt the first review sheet on everything we did this year. It's a scramble, so I'm going to walk you through these steps and hopefully most of it comes back to you. Alright, first one, FOIL. Do you remember what that stands for? First, outer, inner, last. So multiply the first terms together. 2x times x is 2x squared. Outer, a positive 6 times 2x is positive 12x. Inner, a negative 8 times x is a negative 8x. Last, a negative 8 times a positive 6 is a minus 48. Combine together what you can, so the 12x minus the 8x, so your final answer, that would be 4x, is 2x squared plus 4x minus 48. Whew. All right. Number 2, solve for c. All right, that's just a proportion. We can cross multiply. 6 times c is 6c. 4 times 15 is 60. Divided by 6, c equals 10. Number 3, reduce. Okay, we can reduce the numbers. I'm going to divide both 5s by 5. We get 1. Divide these both by 2. Let's see what's left. Just an x up top and a 7y on the bottom. And that's it. All right, number 4, true or false? Okay, the complement of a 37-degree angle is 53. Well, what does 37 plus 53 equal? It equals 90, so that's true. All intersecting lines are perpendicular. No, they don't have to be. Okay, notice the symbol here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's an arrow this way. There's an arrow this way. So they're saying DE is the same ray as ED. Actually, no. So on this one, you know, D would be at the end point, and because of how it's drawn, E would be at the end point. So this is false. D, adjacent angles are always supplementary. So that's saying angles that are next to each other always add up to 180. That's false. They could be next to each other and add up to anything. All right. Number 5. Ooh, just what we've been doing. Solve for x. Now these are corresponding angles, so they equal each other. So 2x plus 10 actually equals the x plus 35. All right, so I'm going to subtract x from both sides. I'm left with x plus 10 equals 35. Subtract the 10, x is 25. We can even check it. 2 times 25 is 50. This one will be 60. 25 and 35, 60. Ooh, apparently the picture's bad, right? They should have been over here. That's a big angle, but we got it. GCF, the greatest common factor that goes into both of those. Some of you can probably do that in your head. If you remember how we used to do it, we would break these down into their prime factors. So 18 is 2 times 9, but 9 I can break down into 3 times 3. There's 2 A's, a B, and a C. 54, 6 times 9. 6 is 2 times 3. 9 is 3 times 3, and we got this. And we would circle what they had in common, if you remember that. And then for the GCF, each circled thing counts once. So the GCF would be 2 times 3 times 3 times A times B. So that's 18AB would be the GCF. Now LCM we would do very similarly. So break that down, 2 times 6, which is 223, a P and 2 Q's. 36Q. 36 is 2233. Again, you would circle what they have in common. Those count in the LCM, but also everything without a circle counts. So for the LCM, you would do the circle of 2's, circle of 2's, circle of 3's, circle of Q's, and then everything without counts once also. So there's a 3, a P, and another Q. All right, so what's that? 2233, that's 36. There's 1 P and 2 Q's. So that would be your LCM. Least common multiple. Okay. All right, number 8. Let's see here. Looking crooked, here we go. Okay. What percent of 40 is 18? I translate, what percent of is times 40 is equals 18. And then I just solve it like that. Divide by 40. 18 divided by 40 is really what we're doing here. So divide that out, 45%. Number 9, combine like terms. Ooh. Now the 7 is not touching the parentheses, but this negative is. It's kind of like you're squeaking in a -1 here. So -1 times 2m makes it a -2m. -1 times 4 makes it a -4. So really, you've got 7 minus 4 is 3. So you've got 3 minus 2m. Usually they write the term with the variable first, so -2m plus 3. Both of these are considered correct. All right, letter B, we're going to distribute the 2. So that's -6p plus 8 plus 9p. A 9p with a -6p is 3p plus 8. And again, you could have those swapped and you would be correct. Number 10, next to each other, I'm seeing that these are supplementary. Add to 180. So let me find some room here. So the 4x plus 10, oh, that's a minus. Make it a -10. Plus the 4x plus 6 equals 180. So we've got 8x, now be careful, that's a -10 and a +6. So that's -4. Let's add the 4. Divide by the 8, and x is 23. Okay. 11. Find the circumference of a circle given the area is 144 pi. Wow. So area is pi r squared. So can you tell how to figure out r here? So really, let's knock off the pi in both of those situations. So we know that r squared is equal to 144 for this problem. Do you remember how to undo a squared? You actually take the square root. So what's the square root of 144 is actually 12. So we're halfway there. They want the circumference, which is pi times d. So I guess I'm going to leave the pi. If radius is 12, diameter is twice as long, it's 24. So you could just say your answer is 24 pi. They didn't tell us what to do for pi. Suppose when they do that, we're supposed to use the pi key and then round. So if you do that, you get about 75.4. They didn't give us any units, so I would just write units. That was a tough one. All right, 12. Circle the ordered pairs that are solutions to this equation. So basically, you're plugging these numbers in and seeing if it works. So if I put a 7 in for x, that would be -3 times 7 minus 4. That's -21, that's -25. That doesn't match that. So we got to go through all these. If you plug a 4 in, that would be negative 12 minus 4, that'd be negative 16, so no. If you plug a 1 in, that'd be negative 3, yes, you would get negative 7. If you plug a 0 in, you get negative 4, yes. If you plug a positive 7 in, oh, we already did it. You get a negative 25, yes. If you plug a negative 3 in, that'd be 9 minus 4, you would get 5, yes. All right. Okay, and last one for this page. The top of a straight slide is 15 meters above the ground. The end of the slide is 20 meters from the ladder. Okay, so you've got a slide. Whee, there you go. It's a slant, right? It says the top of the slide is 15 meters above the ground. The end of the slide is 20 meters from the, so this is the ladder, right? You climb up to go the slide. The end of the slide here is 20 meters from the ladder. So we don't know this. Wow, we did this for like a day. If you have a right triangle, you can use the Pythagorean theorem to figure out the missing side. And it was a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and b, if you remember, are the legs of the triangle. And C is always the hypotenuse, which is the longest side. So let's go ahead and plug in what we know. So one of the legs is 15, one of the legs is 20. I don't know the hypotenuse, so I'm going to put X right there. All right, so 15 squared is 225. 20 squared is 400. So I've got 625 equals x squared. Here we go again. How do you undo the squared part? You're going to take the square root of both sides. And it turns out the square root of 625 is 25. So that slide is 25 meters long. All right. Okay, good job, guys. I will see you tomorrow for the second page of review sheet 1. Keep up the good work.